What's up guys, Mike here, the Detroit Borg with an unboxing and first look at the new Nokia Lumia 920. Now this is Nokia's flagship phone sporting Windows 8. And some of the changes to Windows 8 now makes it possible for the manufacturers to really beef up the specs of these Windows phones. So the 920 is sporting a Snapdragon S4 dual-core processor running at 1.5 GHz with 1 gig of internal RAM. Internally you get 32 gigs of storage and no micro SD expansion. We also get interesting features like inductive charging, NFC, and Nokia's PureView camera, which uses mechanical stabilization to increase the low light performance of the camera. We also have a 4.5-inch clear black capacitive touchscreen display, which can actually function while using light winter gloves. You can actually use this while using gloves. First thing we'll find is a quick start guide, and I'll take you through some of the basic features of using the 920 on Windows 8. Below that is our plastic wrap 920, which we'll get to in just a minute. AT&T also includes a SIM ejection tool. Now, of course, we do get some more paperwork here, including a sheet to demo the NFC technology. And we also get a Nokia branded USB wall charger as well as a micro USB cable for charging. Notably absent here are a pair of headphones. So I guess you'll need to bring your own, or you can pick them up at the AT&T store when you buy your phone. Now onto our AT&T branded 920, we can see that the sheets covering the phone explain some of the ports and buttons, which are arranged a little differently if you're not used to a Windows phone. Now along the right side, we'll find the camera button at the bottom, the power button toward the middle, and the volume rocker toward the top. At the top edge of the phone, we'll find a microphone, headphone jack, and micro SIM tray. At the bottom, we'll find our micro USB port and the speakers and microphones. Now on the back, we'll find Nokia's hallmark feature, which is the PureView camera, sporting an 8.7 megapixel sensor with mechanical stabilization. So this gives us 1080p HD video with autofocusing at 30 frames per second. We also get a pair of LEDs for an extra bright flash. Now on the front, we'll find a fairly standard 1.2 megapixel camera for 720p video right next to the earpiece and proximity and ambient light sensor. Now at the bottom, we'll find our capacitive backlit buttons for back, home, and search. Now Windows Phone 8 is pretty familiar territory here, complete with a home screen full of live tiles which constantly feed information and notifications from the apps and other resources like your social networks. Now if you swipe from the right of the screen, you can bring up your complete app list, which is where you can pin additional apps to the home screen by tapping and holding on them. Once on the home screen, you can tap and hold on any of the live tiles to move them around. You can also toggle through the various tile sizes, and you can unpin them if you want to get them off your home screen. Now if you swipe down from the top edge of the display, you can bring up things like your clock, the connection status, and your battery indicator. What you won't find here are notifications, which only appear in the app tiles themselves on the home screen. Now at the bottom we'll find our capacitive controls, which include search, which of course brings up Bing. Now if we search for a term, we can then scroll left and right to search various categories in Bing, including media, locations, and shopping. You can also tap the microphone for a quick voice search. Now if we tap and hold the back button, we can get back to some of our recently launched apps. Now tapping and holding the home button brings up voice controls, which can perform a variety of tasks such as calling a contact or launching apps. You can even make a note. You can also ask questions like, how's the weather tomorrow? But it doesn't give you information like Siri and instead performs a Bing search. Now you can bring up the camera simply by tapping the camera button along the side. To snap a photo, you can hit that same button again. You can also tap and hold the screen to take a photo and then swipe right to get back to your image. You also have the standard array of toggles for turning the flash on and off, switching to the front-facing camera, or activating video mode. Now in video mode, you can begin recording by tapping the shutter release or tapping the screen. Now if you tap the settings button indicated by those three dots in the upper corner, you can get additional controls such as ISO and exposure values. The camera also features something called Bing Vision, which allows you to snap things such as barcodes, QR codes, and even text with the camera. So for example, if I use this feature to snap photos of text, it automatically highlights the text in that photograph. And here I can use features such as translate, or I can tap individual words to perform a Bing search. Now as for apps, this phone is preloaded with a combination of apps from AT&T, Nokia, and Microsoft. So we get a standard array of Microsoft phone apps such as IE, Mail, Contacts, Photographs, Messaging, and the Phone app. You also have the Xbox Media app for purchasing music, movies, and managing other content such as podcast subscriptions. We also have the Xbox Game app, which is where you can log into your Xbox account and launch a variety of mobile apps such as Angry Birds. Microsoft also has a mobile version of its Office suite, which integrates with Office 365 as well as SkyDrive for online storage. AT&T has also added a variety of apps, including their subscription-based navigation service, the Uverse TV app, as well as subscription-based online radio app for streaming local radio stations or others to your phone. Nokia has also added its own navigation and mapping app, which includes features such as map downloads for offline navigation. Now, the Lumia's display is one of the best I've used. We have a not too large 4.5-inch IPS LCD screen with a resolution of 1280 by 768 for a PPI of 332, which is right up there with the iPhone 5. Colors are very sharp and accurate, while blacks look pretty deep, especially for an LCD screen. Now, Windows 8 looks incredibly smooth on the 920. It never seems to lag or stutter and is always silky smooth no matter what, especially for Windows 8, which is a pretty graphically intensive user interface. Now, as for design, the phone has that typical Nokia design with that curved unibody design made out of plastic. Now, the black version and cyan version have a matte finish, while the yellow, red, white, and pink versions have a glossier finish. Now, the Gorilla Glass display also has a nice curved edge, which is kind of an important design element for the use of Windows 8, which requires you kind of to drag your finger across the edges of the display to activate certain UI elements. Now, for me, the thing that stands out right away is how heavy this phone is, especially compared to the iPhone 5. So it weighs about 185 grams, while the iPhone 5 weighs about 112. So that's quite a significant difference, and you really feel it when you're holding the phone or if it's in your pocket. Now, overall, I'm pretty impressed by the Nokia 920, especially the user interface, which is very different from Android or iPhone. It actually seems to be quite a step above. I love the live tile concept, and certainly there are some limits, especially because there isn't a lot of content for Windows Phone 8 at this time. But at least what you have here is a good start. So hopefully we'll see more coming out of the Windows 8 ecosystem at some point in the future, and they've definitely started off with a pretty interesting device. So that's going to do it for me in this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.